All right, happy Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing it the day before because we wanted to get this out before the live show. My name is Keegan Ray. I am your host of Finish the Story, the #1 storytelling podcast in Marietta, Georgia. I am joined here by my friend, best friend, producer, Mr. Trent Ludzak. Man,
Hello.
putting everything together.
Doing stuff.
Got the lower thirds.
Dude,
I
always do.
I'm really excited about the live show.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
What
how
an
the
odd
promo-
transition, by the way.
No, I just looked up and was like, look at us. I was about to say that I wanted the lower thirds. I'm like, we already got it.
I
We're doing it.
know what I'm doing.
I know. I was trying to give you props, but I was too excited, so it came off.
And then you just like jumped immediately to like the live show, which it is exciting. It's going to be.
It is exciting.
I finally did block out my schedule for it. So
Yeah.
I finally got to
work. Finally. That's a big deal. I know you've never worked in a restaurant, but when you're in the restaurant industry, they always tell you your requests off are just requests.
Yeah, I've worked
Which is
in
bullshit.
I've worked in restaurants a little bit, not
Yeah.
a lot.
That's bullshit. It's
Yeah.
like, no, I'm telling you I'm not coming. like that's on you.
Yeah.
I love the when you get the text that's like, hey, we're short tonight. You're like, thoughts and prayers, babe.
Sucks for you, man.
Thoughts of T's and P's, babe.
Good luck. Hope it goes
I
well.
wish you would have filled that schedule out. That's going to suck for you guys. I had that one time at that place I worked with Kelsey.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
So they texted me. I told
What
them.
was that place called again?
Arena Tavern, dude. So I told him, I was like, it was the SEC championship. Georgia was in the championship. I told him months before, I was like, I am not doing that. Like, I have another thing I got to go to. I'm not doing that. And the guy's like, okay, it's mandatory. I was like, no, I told you a month ago I'm not coming. So that day he like texted me, like, where are you at?
Yeah.
And I just texted him back, LOL. Dude,
Yeah.
he's spazzed, bro. He just started texting me like a girl. Like his whole paragraph. So I was like, absolutely not, dude. You're not about to kill my buzz. It's the SEC championship.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm drunk too.
Yeah, yeah, I'm as drunk as you are.
If you want me to come in, I'm not going to be helpful.
Yeah, for sure. I've done that before.
Bro, I'm just going to be standing over the fryer waiting for the chicken nuggets I'm making for myself.
I've definitely done that before. I've been sitting at the pool, and they're like, hey, man, where you at? Yeah. Ooh, okay. Give me 35 minutes, and I need some sort of sustenance when I get there. I need a sandwich, stat. A bowl of rice, preferably.
Yeah.
Your boy's drunk. Like, your boy's had 9 White Claws and 3 hours of hot sun.
Yeah.
I'm coming and dragging ass.
Bro, in the Army, if one person fucks up real bad, like DUI level fuck up,
Yeah.
they call the whole unit in.
Mm-hmm.
When do DUIs usually happen, Keegan?
Ooh, early morning.
So you are shit-faced
Yeah.
at your buddy's house, and they're like, recall right now.
Oh.
And you're like, dude, I am on a beer pong roll right now. I can't forfeit right. Like, there's $1,000 on this game right now.
Yeah.
No, not that. I never played beer pong for that much money, but yeah. And then they're just like, all right, come back now. And then you just got to stand outside like wobbling.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
just reeking like a fucking distillery.
it's a big problem.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sucks. Standing at attention while spinning is a problem.
And then they yell at you because some other guy got caught drunk driving, and they're yelling at you after they made you drunk drive to get here.
Yeah. Like, if y'all were so concerned with drunk driving, you never would have asked me to come
Yeah.
back. Like, you never would have called this bullshit meeting.
Yeah, Friday at 1. You're not calling me back if you don't want me to drunk drive.
Yeah, that's a tough look. It's crazy. It's crazy because I think about the amount of people that you see drinking and driving. Like, when you're at a concert and you're just looking around, you're like,
I mean, it's the #1 drinking activity, Keegan. It's the
crazy.
best one.
it's crazy.
It's so fun.
It does not make me feel good about driving home late at night.
No,
Like, I'm just like driving home from work.
we
like,
got to be experienced, you know?
It's just me and the fucking drunks.
Also, the problem isn't drunk drivers. The problem is the hammered drivers.
Yeah.
Like when you bring it, there's like a level of drunk route argue that you might be a little safer because you're paying attention.
Yeah,
more.
I'm talking about the level like where the guy just like broke 3 tackles to get into his Ford F-150. He like put a spin move on his ex-girlfriend and fucking jumped in the cab.
Like the only thing that guy is trying, like he is super focused, but the only thing he is trying to do is focus on those lines.
Oh yeah,
like he's just like
you got that one eye open.
Stay in the
you're
line.
Trying to fucking, you're Caitlyn Jenner down the sidewalk, just.
The window's open,
dude.
trying to like get some fresh air.
That's when you know you're fucked.
Yeah.
When you start rolling the window down because you're like, let me.
Dude, just stop and sleep at a rest stop.
Yeah, this will wake me up. I think driving tired is scary as shit.
Oh,
too.
it's pretty rough.
Yeah, that's real rough.
I did that Friday/Saturday.
Yeah, it's scary. The highway is hypnotizing.
Yeah.
Like it is super it is fucking scary how
at night it gets,
hypnotizing.
you're like.
Yeah. You start going night.
And like I am pretty good at getting just locked in and I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
And then it really gets dangerous when I have to stop and I pull off to the side of the road and I feel like I'm like piloting a spaceship in these like tiny streets. Because like if you're on the freeway for like 4 hours straight and you're like, okay, I gotta pee, and now you're slowing down, you're like, I'm not used to going 25 anymore.
Yeah.
You're like,
You're
now I'm
on
driving.
autopilot,
now I'm
bro.
driving by a school, and I feel like I don't have control of
And
this
it's
vehicle.
weird too because you're doing something like you're on cruise control and then you're listening to something like a podcast or something. So you're thinking about something else, but you're still kind of thinking about driving, but not really.
Yeah,
Very bizarre. And
you're just paying attention.
Yeah, I like it though. I like to say I like driving.
I love long drives.
I do like driving. I think you get a good time to think too. You know, like because you can't listen to music the whole time.
No,
Sometimes you got to turn it off and just be in your thoughts.
no, I
Let the
switch
demons
between
come out.
podcasts.
Let the demons out, dude. That's where you start thinking about like 3rd grade skate night. You're like, why the fuck didn't I see that?
No, yeah, that's.
I should have never said that, dude.
I keep it between a podcast and music so that I don't just have one of these.
Yeah.
Because that's a rough spot to get really, really sad.
You know what
Bro,
really
behind the wheel on the freeway is a bad spot
Let
to
me
get
tell you.
sad.
That was after our friend, the comic passed away. I was listening to Run in the Light on the audiobook driving home from fucking work, and one of my friends had passed away. I was like, this is not good for my mental health.
No.
Like it was like literally just
very sad.
Yeah, crying.
But it's like Joey Diaz.
It was like an old fucking country song. I'm just
Bro, you're crying to Joey Diaz's voice.
Bert Kreischer.
Bert Kreischer's laughing.
Bert Kreischer's reading a book and I'm just crying my eyes out.
Oh man.
Yeah, sad. I think it was during Mark Maron. I don't know. It was the chapter where they talked about his son.
I
really
still haven't gotten that deep because it also made me very sad. Because by the way, I haven't tried the audiobook. I've just tried to read it. Yeah. And every time I finish a chapter, I'm like, this is going to make me sad for a while, I think.
Yeah. He's a good writer, though. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me that somebody's mind works like that because mine does not. I don't think like that. I'm very caveman. Just
yeah.
I'm just at the comedy show like, this sucks.
You're, I think, a lot more visual artsy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that you notice it when you're, like, talking to me about, like, the tie-dye merch that's coming out at the live show if anybody's interested.
True professional.
But you're like showing me these pictures and shit, and, like, I see it, and I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty sick shirt. But, like, I don't know. I don't nerd out about the visual stuff as much.
It's not really the visual. It's just I know the process of that she went through to do it, and it's just wild to me that she's literally tying these shirts, and then she knots them up, and then she puts the powdered color on it, and then puts ice over it, and then just lets the ice melt, and that's how she gets that effect of like the geode. It's because of the ice melting over the powdered color. Crazy. And it's like learning that it's going to do that and then figuring out how you can manipulate that to get the effect that you want with the color. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy. I only did it with her one time. We did Shibori, and she just had it all set up in the driveway, and we just fucking sat out there and just tie-dyed in the sun. It was awesome.
My
like arts and
tie-dyeing
crafts.
experience started and stopped in like elementary school, I think.
Yeah. That's like where you're using the lead paint, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Elmer's
Yeah,
cancer.
the government
guy.
elementary school tie-dye process.
That's probably what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is pure blue 45. Don't worry about gloves. We don't have enough for everybody.
everybody, we're going to use the Agent Orange. Dude, have you
There's a lot of it left over when after the war stopped.
We had to put it somewhere. We're sitting in a room.
And the thing is, it's not
asbestos.
as effective in the Middle East, you know, a lot more stone structure.
Isn't that crazy? They had asbestos just all in schools.
Oh, everywhere. It was all in everywhere.
Whoops.
Bro, you ever see like an old clip of like somebody, like I've seen like old advertisements where they'll be like, let me put on my asbestos glove. And that's used to be what the oven mitt was called. An asbestos glove.
While they're smoking a cigarette in the kitchen, holding a baby. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I still can't get over the fact that people smoked on planes. Like, that blows my fucking mind.
Oh, I would love it so much.
I'm sure it ruled, dude. I'm sure it ruled. 3 Bloody Marys. You goose the stewardess walking by. Just fucking light a stogie.
I haven't had a cigarette in like 3 weeks.
Me either.
And buddy, if you could smoke in planes, I would quit drive and start flying again. That would be it. It would be like if an airport is marginally faster or feasible. If an airport is feasible,
if an airport is on the way,
where I'm going,
I
will get it. I will fly in the shittiest, smallest plane as long as I can light a cigarette.
I miss smoking in Waffle House. 3 in the morning.
I never got to do it.
Drunk as shit. Light a ciggy.
When did they stop doing
I don't know.
smoking in
The
Waffle
last time I
House?
remember, all right, so we went when I was in high school, and let's see what year, and I'll tell you this story about smoking in a Waffle House with a guy named Winston.
Waffle House smokes cigarettes at a meal. 2005.
Yeah. So when I was in high school, we went over to this girl's house, right? So we're at our buddy's house, and he's like, yo, this girl I'm dating is like down the street, like a couple of neighborhoods over. So we're like, all right. So, dude, this is how stupid we were. We like went to go steal alcohol, and like one of the bottles he brought up was for Angelica. Which is like this Aunt Jemima like shaped bottle of just like liqueur, like it's meant to like put in a coffee drink, right?
It's
it's
like a Irish liquor,
it's just something
Irish
disgusting.
cream.
It's like syrup. So he brings that and like Hennessy, and I remember we're like, maybe we can chase them together.
Yeah, make some.
To this day, maybe the worst thing,
You've ever
had.
You don't remember what the thing was called?
Frangelica. I think for Angelica. Hazelnut liqueur.
This stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've seen this
Show
stuff
the bottle
for
on the
sure.
thing. Show the bottle on the thing. Tell me that's not an Aunt Jemima bottle. So he brings that up. So we're on the Frangelica and fucking Hennessy. Possibly the worst combination of all time.
Dude, hazelnut with distilled wine.
With cognac.
That's what cognac is, right? I think.
It's just
Distilled
like we
wine.
were turning diabetic. So we're fucking drinking this, and he's like, man, we're going to sneak out of the house, right? So I'm like, all right. So we sneak out of this house. We go over to this girl's house. So he's over there, and it's like one of those things you don't really think about it as a kid. Like, he goes over there to, like, hook up with his chick, and we're, like, super young, but I'm like, that's crazy. So then it just turns into, like, us awkwardly sitting on a couch with, like, these 2 people that are her friends that are sleepover that we don't know. So we're all just, like, sitting there petting a dog, like, this is weird.
It's like, you seen Training Day?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like that. I'm like, he might be the coolest person I know.
Bro,
like,
you're just coming down from PCP on a couch next to a child watching cartoons
so
while
we're
your
just sitting
buddy's
in there
hooking up.
drinking this girl's dad's beer, right? And they're in there hooking up. So they're in there for a long time. So I remember she comes out, and she is livid that we drank the beer. Like she did not make that against it. Like we just basically drank all her dad's beer.
Yeah, you were just like, oh, there's beer. Let's grab some.
We're like, yeah. I mean, what else are we doing? So then she like gets violently ill, right? So my buddy's like, dude, we didn't do anything. He's like, I went in the other room. And he's like, she's fucked up. And
wait,
like,
so she just starts throwing up
everywhere. So
was
we
she
don't
drinking
know.
too?
Yeah. They were drinking. We're drinking. Everybody's drinking. So she starts throwing up, and her friends are like freaking. They're like, we don't know what to do, but everybody's so drunk. So like he just like looks at the situation. And he goes, I'll be right back. And he just walks outside, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure he just left.
Yeah, he
like,
just left.
And
he's
he comes
not
back in. He's like,
oh, okay.
My brother's on the way. So dude, his older brother Winston
Who's his
shows
brother,
up.
the wolf?
I swear to God, he was the wolf, bro. He shows up. He like walks in. He's like, what's going on? He's like, take me to her. We're like, dude, she's sick as fuck. He like walks in. He like looks at her friends. He's like, y'all got to go upstairs, get a water, get her a pillow. We're going to lay her down. She's fine. How much has she drank? So he starts just assessing the situation. Then he like walks out in the living room. He's like, what is all this beer cans? He's like, this has got to go. So we're like picking up beer cans. We like go to throw it away in the trash can. He's like, absolutely not. He's like, we're taking that outside. We're going to throw it away in my truck. So this dude is just like quarterbacking this whole situation. I remember being like, thank God Winston came. Because we freaked out. We were kids. I'd never seen anybody sick from alcohol. I was like flipped out. I was like, she's going to fucking die. Like, I didn't know. I was like, this is like one of my only like second times really drinking like that. And I was like, so he's like, she's not going to fucking die. She's 110 pounds. Like, and she drank a bottle of Boone's Farm. Like, she's sick. But she's fine.
And she's going to feel the worst tomorrow.
Oh, my God. So I remember he's like, cleans up the situation. He's like, we're all good. He's like, guys, I'm going to take y'all. Let's go to Waffle House. He's like, because we deserve it. So we get in the car.
We pulled it off.
He had 99 apples and Burton's vodka. So we're taking shots of Burton and chasing it with the 99
Damn, so
apples.
he's also drinking with you now.
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, this goes sad. I didn't realize this goes sad.
No. It's not sad. I'm just saying, unfortunately, yes. Now that I think about it, he was drinking and driving.
In hindsight.
Yeah. But the whole point of me telling the story was Winston showed up like the wolf, and then he took us to Waffle House, and we sat there smoking cigarettes that he had and just laughing because he knew the guy behind the thing, and the guy was telling us old street jokes, like the cook. So the cook was just shooting the shit, and we were just sitting in there smoking. And I remember looking at that dude and be like, this is the coolest guy on the planet.
Yeah.
Like, this is like,
now you're like, he's dead. Winston, he's not around anymore.
I just remember I was so drunk, everybody was making fun of me because I was
He's either
ashing.
dead or fled to Mexico.
I was ashing in my hash browns. Like everybody was like, dude, rein it in. And I still ate them. What are you going to do? It's just a little pepper, baby. A little Marlboro Light and you're scattered, smothered, covered.
They come like that anyway. You just added extra.
That's the seasoning on top of a Waffle House at 3 a.m. And you know what? We thought we got away with it, right? We're like, yeah. Next day, we get a call at Adam's house. Fucking busted. This dumbass left his wallet. So the parents come downstairs. Man. They find the daughter fucking hungover as shit. She's fucking thrown up everywhere. We cleaned it up a little bit, but they're just like, and whose wallet is this?
Yeah, you left it on her.
Yeah. He left his wallet.
Wow.
Yeah. So after all that cleanup, Winston thought he did a good thing. Adam blew it, bro.
And did Winston get in trouble for that?
No. Everybody took it to our graves.
Okay.
They were kind of like, who the fuck?
Until now.
Well, they're like, who picked y'all up? We're like, we walked back. And we fucked up when we got back because we had the one door that we had like put tape over so it wouldn't teet when you like open it.
Wait.
You know what I'm saying? When you set the alarm, like a lot of places have an alarm that goes off. It does a chime when you open the door. So you can tape it so it won't register opening. It'll just be open. So when you look at the alarm, it just says that it's open, but it won't chime anymore. And we fucking opened the wrong door. And dude, his dad showed up like fucking Batman just out of the shadows like, what are y'all doing? I remember, dude, I screamed like a fucking bitch. Everybody just thought, like, you just lost respect to your whole group of friends. Like, what are y'all doing? His dad's like, you fucking pussy, dude.
Bro, he was ready.
Yeah.
He was prepared. He was sitting
The
out all
amount of
night cleaning
times
his
that
gun.
we didn't get fucking shot, like going into people's houses, like
just going in.
Yeah, just like your friend's house. I mean, 3 a.m, we're sneaking in your basement. Like that would be terrifying. As an adult, you think your kids are asleep, and then you just hear somebody breaking in because we're drunk. So we're just like, bah.
Yeah, you're not being quiet about it.
You're like, dude, not only are they breaking in, there's 5 of them.
It took them 10 minutes outside because for 5, they were just laughing.
Dude, I told you, we got busted for weed. My buddy's dad was like, everybody left the room. They were all like, we're so disappointed. He looked at us and goes, I thought y'all were fucking for the longest. We're like, what? He's like, dude, I thought y'all were out there. He's like, because every time y'all got in trouble, he's like, having sleepovers. They're like 16, 17 years old having sleepovers. Man,
he thought that you guys were just like a group, like a roving gang of gay boys.
Just having just gangbangs in his basement. He's probably sitting in his bed like, ugh.
Just a bunch of drunk teenagers.
Yeah, having a 6-man, dirty, fucking hairy.
That says a lot
sesh.
about that man, by the way.
Yeah, closeted.
Yeah.
He wishes. He's like, I wish I was down there.
You start calling that
Chinese
kid
finger trapped by a bunch of high school boys. No, it was funny as shit though, because we did have an excuse one time. We were outside, we snuck out, and we came back in, but it rained, and like I had slipped down this hill, and like his mom found our like clothes, and she's like, "Why are your clothes muddy and wet?" And before we could say anything, I was like, "Oh, we were just wrestling outside." His dad was like eating breakfast, like, just like looked over like, "Hold up, dude."
You were dropping hints to that closeted gay man.
Yeah.
I think you wanted it.
We were wrestling outside. I'll never forget that. He was like eating oatmeal, like,
Bro,
he's
wrestling,
like, bro.
wrestling at 16. And like none of you were on the wrestling team. Like if you're on the
like, bro.
Here's if you're on the wrestling team, then it's just like, oh, these boys got initiative.
We were just trying to drink some Frangelico and bump uglies. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. We, I told you, dude. Like one time, my buddy, we smoked weed in his mom's car. We like stole her car at 15, and we went to these like girls' house, and then we were driving back, and he kept going, "It's cool, dude. We'll just roll the windows down." Immediately the next day, we just wake up to his mom standing in the front of his bedroom, like.
Did you even try?
She's like, "What the fuck is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with you?" She's just like, "Dude, are y'all trying to fucking piss me off?" Because when you're a kid, you just don't. My mom came upstairs one time and was like, "Dude, the whole house stinks like weed." Like,
yeah.
We were blowing it out a window with a notebook.
And it's just not working.
Oh, the breeze shifts. And
yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Blast all of it right back.
And as a kid, it's like, dude, if you're not smoking weed.
The shower trick, I think, is
the best.
Because like
the floof magoof that works too. You know what I'm saying? The fucking floof magoof. You put the dry.
Wait, if I've never heard that term in my life, did you make that up?
I think that's a me term. But you know what I'm talking about, where you take dryer sheets down.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Floof magoof, dude.
I was just wondering if I could Google that and it would pull the right thing up.
That's not. It's probably going to get a bunch of cat pictures if you.
Yeah,
if you
probably.
Floof magoof.
No, so the shower thing I know is because of the Army. Is because we would smoke cigarettes in our bathrooms on the weekends, and it was just like Friday night. If you wanted to shower after 10 p.m., you cannot because everybody has all their hot water blasting, just steaming up the bathrooms.
Just a bunch of men sitting in a steamy shower together, smoking weed.
Nah, you just like. Dude, there were people who had like little lawn chairs, fold out chairs that they would have like 3 or 4 of them in this tiny bathroom just for like the weekend. They'd be like, "We're gonna go get hammered and hang out in the steam room smoking cigarettes."
That's fun.
Flush all the butts down the toilet.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah,
that's great.
That was our cultural. That was like what we were bringing to like of our culture to Korea. Mostly. Was doing stuff like that.
Our trashy culture here, just to feel at home. No, we did that in the dorm rooms. We'd vaporize in the bathroom and steam it up.
Yep. It's weird how it worked because like cigarettes, you'd think it might not work, but it does.
But it doesn't really have much to stick to in the bathroom because there's no like couch, carpet, nothing to stick to. It's just linoleum. But you do start getting like if you go to somebody's house that smokes cigarettes inside, they have that film. on the wall. We start getting that yellow film. My brother, when he was at UGA his first year, he had a windowless apartment, dude, above a bookstore in Athens. And I remember going to fucking visit him, and it was just like something out of a movie, bro. Just like upstairs of a bookstore. They're in there stacking heaters on the couch, watching Scooby-Doo.
Oh, man.
Downtown Athens. It was awesome. Because you got to think, he went to college at 18. He was young. I was 14. So I was in like 9th grade, 10th grade when I would go visit. Just get to go to Athens and be like, holy shit, I've got to go to college. This is amazing.
And then you get to college and you're like, why did I do this?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, though, when he went. Just as a kid. Because that's where you start being friends again. Because when you're brothers, it's like you go through a period where you're not friends.
No.
Can I get one? And then, like, as you get older, there's like,
Yeah.
I guess when
you
you move
become
out,
friends.
When you move out, too, you're like, bro, I know what you're going through at the house.
I actually moved back in with my brother, me and my brother lived together for
Really?
actually maybe 2 years. I don't remember how long we had that place.
Where was it?
Bloomington, Minnesota.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we were.
Me and my brother lived together.
Yeah, like the suburbs of Minneapolis. We were both pizza guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like a sitcom right there. Pizza guys.
No, but there was no sitcom shit happening because here's the thing: is like we just like every night we would basically both work roughly the same hours, get home around the same time.
Yeah.
And then we would just go to our separate rooms and play video games separately.
I mean,
Until,
that's not a
like,
bad setup.
all
though.
morning.
That's not
until
a
like
bad
early
setup.
in the morning and then
No.
sleep, and we both go into work at like 3 or 4.
Same pizza place or different?
Yeah. Different places.
Okay. See, that's perfect. I can deal with that. I can work. I can work that.
Yeah, he worked for like I think a Domino's or something. But that's when I was at the local place I've told you about where I was in. And that place was sick.
Yeah, most local pizza shops seem pretty fucking
Well,
cool.
because that place I think paid like $10, $10.50 an hour
Nice.
plus tips.
Back then, that's
Yeah.
dope. That's
So
real
you were
dope.
making $10.50
That's like
an hour.
$80 an hour now.
Pretty
The way
much with
inflation has
inflation,
gone.
yeah. Well,
Dude.
but then he would tip out all your like you would keep all your like little tip receipts, and then you would just take that cash at the end of the night.
Oh, that's nice. I've worked at places like that. That's
Yup.
really nice. Yeah, me and my brother lived together in a little townhouse, and we had these neighbors that were like, it was in Kennesaw. We had these neighbors that were like fucking insane, dude. They were these, all right, so the one lady, they were hoarders, but I didn't know that.
Okay.
But the one lady was like intervention drunk all the time. And it wasn't like funny, it was
Good.
like kind of sad.
Good.
But like the way I met her,
If you're hoarding and a drunk person, like that's got to be pretty rough.
yeah, they could have done a combination show at her house, intervention and hoarders. Like they could have.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
what both of those shows need to regain
Dude.
relevance. Maybe.
I know. I could have I had an episode for them. So, no, this lady, how I met her is I was sitting in my house and I just hear, Chipper, Chipper.
Chipper.
For like 2.5 hours, dude. I'm like playing video games. So finally I'm like, what is happening?
This?
So I go outside and she's just plastered at like 2 p.m. and
Good.
she's looking for her dog. And her dog's just like running around in a circle around her. Just like the dog thinks they're playing. Like,
Oh my
so I was just
god!
like,
For
oh
2
my God.
hours,
Dude, for 2 hours.
Well, I guess
Like,
this is
lady-
the dog's monthly walk, so he's really trying to take
Yeah.
advantage.
Yeah, it was insane, bro. Like I went over to their house and they had like a path carved out, like where you'd have to walk through stuff. But we lived at this house and it was just, I mean, dude, that dog would come over and just like eat treats and then go back. Like he was so fat. It was like every day he'd come over on the porch and he'd just be hanging out and then
Just waddling. What kind of dog?
Just a fat ass Jack Russell that probably weighed 80 pounds. Like just a little fucking,
Just an enormous
he
Jack
looked
Russell.
like a watermelon. Like,
Dude.
fucking waddling watermelon.
Bro, I feel sad for dogs that are that fat.
I know.
Because you're like, you're not even really a dog anymore.
Dude, I had to go over there one day because that's when I first got Kylie, my dog. And I had to go over there. That's how I saw the inside of their house. I went over there because they would like, Kylie would get underneath the fence and go over there. And like the first time I went over there, I was like, oh my God, did my dog get in your yard? And she's like, yeah. And I look over and this drunk lady's just on the couch just feeding her a rotisserie chicken. And I'm like, dude. What in the fuck? And she had a really sensitive stomach. I'm like, absolutely not. So then it was on, bro. Once Kylie found out there was rotisserie chicken next door,
she's trying to get
dude,
there.
she's climbing the fence to get. I was like, dude, this lady's out of control. But yeah, me and my brother lived together, and it was cool till it wasn't. You know, like, it's your brothers, and it's like we lived in a tiny townhome. So the breaking point of me and him living together was he would open the screen door. Now, this is when I wasn't smoking cigarettes. I'm back to not smoking cigarettes, but I was adamant about not smoking cigarettes. I did not like it. I didn't want him in the house. I didn't want to smell it. So, dude, he would always leave the sliding door open. And we would like bicker about it because the fucking smoke would come in. So it was just a long, just passive aggressive, just picking. So one day I'm like, dude, take that shit the fuck outside. And he just opens the screen door and lights this cigarette and just looks at me and just blows it in the house. So it's on. I get up. I push him. So as I push him, he punches me in the ear. So as he punches me in the ear, my mom walks in the front door because she's been knocking on the door. So my mom walks in and me and my brother are in a full-out fist fight.
You guys didn't hear the door?
No, dude. Once he fucking hit me in my ear and it was on. We're like fist fighting.
Oh, you guys
in the back
were
porch, like going at it. So my mom comes in like, I'm gonna go see my son. She opens the door and we're just fucking UFC battling. She's like, oh my God. She's like, what the fuck? The dog's running around barking. She's just like, what is wrong with y'all? And you know what my mom's only response was? Somebody's gonna call the cops. She didn't ask what it was started over. She didn't give a fuck. She's like, y'all are trailer trash out here fucking fist fighting.
Yep.
And I just kept going, dude, I thought he busted my eardrum. I was like, I'm going to have one of those UFC
that's
ears.
Not good.
That's what I kept saying. I was like, I'm not even a fucking UFC fighter, dude. I'm going to have one of those retarded ears.
People are going to look at me like they...
Yeah, dude. I was so pissed. I was like, that's something cool when you're like a wrestler. Yeah. Like if you're not, like, then every time somebody sees my ear, people with other ears are gonna size me up in public.
Well, because you have, you have, it's only on one ear, so they're like, oh, he quit. They're like, he didn't go all the way. He's not a real wrestler.
It's like wearing a tap out shirt. Eventually, somebody's gonna come up and wrestle you. Like that's just how it is.
That's just the world those guys live in, I assume. I don't know. I'm not part of it.
It's like, hey, you walk around with a championship belt long enough, somebody's going to punch you in the face.
I'm going to be honest, I don't like how foreboding that is about us buying ourselves a trophy.
Bro, that's why when you have the trophy, you have to be ready at all times. Like, yo, somebody might try to take this from me.
Have we brought up the trophy on the show? I just realized.
Yeah, we have.
Okay, cool.
Well, I don't know if they know, but it is a physical manifestation.
We have manifested a trophy. we went out to the we went out into the universe, into the ether, known as Marietta Trophy.
We scoured the astral plane.
And we exchanged a form of currency known as dollars for that trophy.
Okay, so speaking of, I'm glad that you said this, and it sparked a weird thing in my brain. Have you ever watched that documentary, Love Has Won?
I think I got bored.
Dude.
Wait, which one is that? Is it Netflix?
No, it's on HBO. It's the one where the lady turns blue.
I didn't get to I keep hearing about it. I think I just wasn't in the right mindset when I started it.
Let me tell you.
How blue does she turn?
Bro, she smurfs out, bro. She is smurfette. It is insane. It's so sad at that point, though. I felt like such a piece of shit for laughing. No, you got to just type it in. Love is one blue. No, put it in the thing because like it's at the very end. But bro, they put her on Dr. Phil, and Dr. Phil fucking tore her up. Like he just fucked her up, bro. Yeah, that one right there, where she's in the
this one.
This one right here.
This.
Yeah, bro, not good. Colloidal silver.
Did I ever? So when I worked for,
but the whole reason I brought it up is just like, dude, mental health in this country is declining. Like, and it was a real expose of like, psychedelics are not the answer. You know what I'm saying? They're a tool, but they are not the answer. Like, maybe not. Don't take like just my favorite part of the whole thing though is there's this one lady on there and she's just got the craziest eyes, and every time she's on camera she cries, every time. But they're talking about they moved to Oregon, and they're like, and the house burnt down. And so it shows a video because they live streamed everything in this cult. That was like part of it.
Whoa,
So
they live streamed it?
Everything. They were live streaming everything all day. They just live streamed like 24/7.
Damn, that lady really did turn blue.
So check this out. They're in this boat and they're filming the house burning down. And they're like, our house caught fire. Before that, they're like talking about how it was a stage 3 drought in Oregon. And there's like a live stream where somebody's yelling at them for smoking. They're like, you cannot fucking smoke. It's a stage 3 drought. Like, you'll start a fire. They're like, sorry.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to the crazy lady. And she's like, the galactic members of the astral realm led me to light sage. And then it just poof. You're like, dude, this chick came. She wasn't even a part of the group.
Oh, no.
She's like, Robin Williams spoke to her, the galactic team, because her galactic team is like Donald Trump, Robin Williams.
Wow. Okay.
So she's like, the galactic team spoke to me to light sage. So she just lights sage and immediately burns the house down.
That's incredible.
And like she was like, this all was supposed to happen so that we could push for. I'm like, dude, these people cannot take any responsibility for anything. Like,
no.
You showed up and burnt the house down with sage. Like,
hilarious.
You fucking
hilarious,
idiot,
though.
Dude. It's crazy. It was just the editing was perfect because it shows them and you're like, well, why is their house burning down? And then it shows the crazy lady. It's like, I was led to burn sage.
Did I ever tell you that I have had a colloidal silver experience, I guess I would call it?
Mm-hmm. What happened? I've taken it.
So I was working, when I was working for the canning company, I was basically working with a mobile canning setup, puts liquid into cans, basically. Right. There was a facility that we worked at, we would go in for, that did water. It was like a water bottling plant, but they had one specific product, and they do it in North Georgia, sponsored by Manny Pacquiao. Okay. It's like this colloidal silver, extra hydrogenated water. Yeah. And bro, they were the worst day because they would make us wear like hair and beard nets, and it was like very like we're doing factory work, and we didn't even get to drink beer. All we could drink was this fucking water coming down the line that would give me headaches.
Yeah, I don't know about the colloidal silver.
Let me find this stuff.
It's I don't know. I just everybody's looking for a cure-all. You know, everybody's looking for a cure-all. I don't think it's here. But yeah, that documentary is crazy. Just just how far out there everybody got, and like how quick it dissolved into just chaos. And Dr. Phil is a ruthless little cunt. He is a fucking mean
bro, have
man.
you ever... I've seen Dr. Phil on Rogan a couple times. Dr. Phil is a pretty fun guy on Rogan. Dude, he's not a fun guy. He says the real wild shit.
Yeah, he slams.
Like, here we go.
He's slamming people while they're down. He's kicking people while they're down, for sure.
This stuff.
Oh, okay. Locked in.
They changed the name. That was not the name that we were using.
I mean, this is idiocracy. Like where they're selling water that.
By the way, when we were canning this stuff, I tried to find a video of Manny Pacquiao drinking it, and I found a video where he's like, he's like sitting at a table, and somebody walks up and hands him the can, and it's visibly reluctantly takes a sip of it and then makes a face.
It's like those guys when they had the fucking contaminated water with Roundup. Like, yeah. When fucking Obama drank the water at Flint, he's like, what are y'all bitching about? That was my favorite. Because now you know, like the whole time over there on the flight, he was just executing people in weddings. They just went and just dunked on Flint. He's like, hold on, dude, let me hop off the plane and dunk on these losers.
I'm not seeing this video.
It's all right. We don't need to see it.
It would be if you saw it, you'd be like, "Holy shit!" And because he's on the can, and actually, I remember we were putting those in the can, and they were like, "But we can't sell these ones yet because it's not like fully locked in." And I'm like, "We're canning it, and it's not like locked in." Which, by the way,
we're really gambling on the licensing.
I just realized I said that without even like thinking about that. That's the current new name of this stuff.
Yeah, they were like, all right, it's locked in.
Now it is. They changed the name. That's how we
call it.
I've seen it at like gas stations and stuff.
Really?
It's always been in like the part that nobody looks at or cares about. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about colloidal silver. I know that lady was chugging it like a fucking hamster out of a fucking little water bottle. She's like, look. I was like, you can't do that.
I mean, drinking metal. Here's the thing. Drinking a little bit of metal, I can imagine it being beneficial. I don't know what that little bit is, what that amount is. You know?
I don't
when
know,
when we're talking about a little bit, the difference can mean a lot.
I mean, I've smoked out of a Coke can, so I'm retarded. I'm dead. Like, I'm dead in 20 years.
No,
doubt.
we grew up in the night. We are already we were ruined by diets of plastic.
I mean, think about that, though. Smoking off of a can.
Pretty crazy.
That's terrible, dude. In your formative years of life.
Yep. I did it once.
Yeah, then you fucking...
Bro,
well, it's like people that hit the gravity bongs. Like, I was always, when I was younger, I was like, nah, I don't know, man. I don't know if inhaling plastic is worth it. Because it never was worth it to me, the gravity bong. That was just always... It was like the...
It's aggressive.
It's like the fratty way to smoke.
What about the...
It's like the fucking... It's like a beer... It's like alcohol games, like drinking games. It's like that.
What about...
smoking.
What do you think of the ones that spin? Those...
No, I do like those. I did have like a... I had like a real like glass one. Those are cool.
I haven't heard about them in a while. I wonder if the price has dropped.
Maybe. That'd be cool. Dude, so the best one I had like an old school one that you would turn upside down and it would like fill up, but it was like made out of that like nice like Pyrex. But one year on my birthday, since my birthday's coming up, they brought it out as the candle. Like everybody saying happy birthday, and my buddy, you could light it, and then when the water would go down, it would just fill up with smoke, but it would stay lit. Oh. So they brought it out, and everybody sang me happy birthday, and then blowing out the candle was taking my hit. And then I took way too big of a hit in front of like 15 people and got
just
uncomfortably high. I immediately started sweating like, oh my God.
You're like, why did they do this to me? Are they
like,
sabotaging me?
Like, did you make a wish? Yeah, that I wish I don't die right now. I'm wishing that I don't projectile vomit.
New lungs.
That is, have you ever hit a bong too hard? Just like,
what kind of question is that, Keegan?
Feeling. So the hardest I ever
Keegan,
hit
I've told you about my college years, buddy. I used to hit bongs that were too big too hard. Like bongs that were like designed to be too big. I would hit those too hard in college.
Cypress Hill bong. Like,
yeah.
Who is this for?
Just like, because at a point a bong becomes a challenge to like be like, clear me, bitch, I dare you.
Yeah.
And that
I don't need a final boss.
Yeah, that is and that is a challenge I used to take.
No.
But the problem is it stops being fun after that challenge.
Yeah, it does.
Because you just like it's too much.
So okay, the first time I ever really hit like a legit roar was in like I have a little one compared to the one I'm talking about. So we're buying weed from this dude in the dorms at Kennesaw. Like it was like in the like older dorms.
That's where you get the good weed, right?
That's where I'm already sketched out, right? So I'm like,
that's where you get those good seeds and stems.
Well, it was actually a really good weed at the time, but I'm like, let me just get in here and get this weed and just get the fuck out. So I go in, there's a bunch of people, and the guy's like, you want to hit this bowl? You got greens. And I'm like, sure. And then I turn around, and it's just like, dun, dun, dun.
You're like,
and he like hands me this like Terminator bong. So it's this roar. So I wasn't used to the snap. So I fucking light this bowl up, and it just immediately turns yellow, like milky white. And I take this hit, and I just hear the guy go, whoo. So I'm fumbling, like, just as I'm trying not to drop this dude's bong, just, like, handing it off like a baby. And immediately I'm getting those, like, starry, like, vision. I blow this hit out. You know where you hear it hurt? You hear the pain.
It sounds like you got the wind knocked out of you.
Yeah, like you fell off a bike. Yeah. So the guy didn't even have a bag. He just gave it to me in a paper towel. So I immediately stand up off this bed, just cram these nugs of weed into my pocket, and I just beeline to the fucking door, like just sweat pouring down my face. I'm like, okay, later. He's like, are you okay, dude? And I'm like, later, guys. So I go out of his room. I get like 3 steps down the hallway of this dorm room, and I just collapse. I just go down. I'm just like laying fetal position on the ground, and I'm like, I'm going to go to jail. Like, I'm getting kicked out of the dorms. Like, I can't move. And I was so it took everything inside of me to be like, get up. You have a pocket full of
Wait,
loose
so how
weed.
long were you laying on the floor?
Oh, probably 2-3 minutes fully.
Okay, cool.
Just doing the
just trying to come back to life.
with a pocket full of weed in the dorms, like just really risking it.
Really not where you should be. Yeah.
No, I was like, if their RA walks out, first off, it reeks in there. There was no smell control, and I'm like 2 doors down, just dying. Like the RA is like, what the fuck?
He'll get over it.
The
Probably.
immediate onset though of just a problem
Keegan,
bong hit.
that was the RA.
I flipped, dude. I panicked. I mean, I literally panicked. I was like, this is...
Yeah. Well, did I tell you about when I started really smoking when I got to college in North Carolina?
Nice.
So, like, the first... I showed up. I had, like, a week to get my stuff, straight. And then I was going to a beer festival that's, like, right before the semester starts. I'm like, this will be a good way, because I'm going for fermentation. It'll be a good thing to go to.
Yeah.
I get in the ride I'm taking, which is, I've told you about this, the Facebook group thing.
Yeah.
So it's just
So
a lady in like a Kia Soul picking me up in like an orange Kia Soul.
She's taking a real risk.
And she's like, hey, I've got another guy I want to pick up who is going to the same festival. We pick up this guy who ends up becoming my very good friend.
Nice. Look at that.
Yeah. We start talking. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm like working through I'm about to start my last semester in that program that I'm starting." And he lives like right by campus, basically right across from where our department is.
Right. Nice.
We go to this beer festival. Introduces me to a few people. It's like 4 hours of just drinking, just getting.
Yeah, I was about to say 4 hours at a beer
hammered.
Festival is like dog years.
Just getting hammered.
It's like dog hours to being drunk.
Yeah.
You might as well have been at a bar for 12 hours.
Well, so here's the thing about beer festivals: is it's difficult to pace. It's not even just high grabs. It's that you're drinking like 4 ounces on the high end. Like if you're getting good pours, you're getting 4 ounces.
You're just basically doing a power hour.
You're just drinking like a little bit of beer at a time, so it feels like you're not drinking a lot. But you've had like 15 of those in an hour and a half.
Every bartender out there right now knows that. They know about the sampling beers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where they have to call you in the office. They're like, hey, you can sample the beers.
Yeah.
Not 37
not
times.
every beer.
That's the best thing when you got 30 taps at work. You're like, I got to try them all, bro. I can't get any rogue questions.
Yeah. So I'm drunk at this beer festival. It's wrapping up.
Yeah.
I find my buddy, I'm not going to say his name. I think he's respectable now.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, we're going back over to my place, me and a bunch of, my friends.
Yeah.
I'll introduce you. We'll hang out, smoke a little bit, and then go to this awesome burger spot in town. I'm like, perfect.
Dude, this sounds like a great fucking day.
Bro, we get to his place, and this guy is like into the high-end glass market. We're like...
Yeah.
We're like, he's traded up to where like he brings out, there's like 5 of us at this table. It's where I got the lighters attached to mic stands trick because he just had a little table with lighters. He pulls out the biggest bong I had ever seen, which I hadn't seen a lot at the time, to be fair. And he puts it down and just like starts loading up this crazy bowl, and I hit it like 2 or 3 times. And I'm just lost in the sauce now. I'm just at this table. I'm fucking quiet. Like I look like Shane Gillis.
That's how you know, dude. When you get quiet, you just
I'm just like, oh no.
You're watching yourself from a third person perspective at a table, like, oh
yeah. And all these other people are just hanging out.
They're normal. They're having a normal conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
so what feels like 3 hours later, but it was not that long.
20 minutes later,
we all go.
You're having a Casper experience, floating around the room.
We go to the burger spot.
Yeah.
I order, literally, she just asked the specials, and I was so high that like when she said the specials, I just ordered those back. So I just had like a high life because it was on special, and then I had a burger that to this day I do not know what was on it.
Yeah.
I just know it was like elk or something, because like this is one of those kind of burger places. They're like their special burger is always some kind of weird meat.
Yeah, I'll take the alligator.
Man, it was, but man, I was so hungry that burger. It was a great burger.
Dude, that's always a great experience.
I was like that. I hit that bong like 3 times, and I think the next 6 hours I was just a different person.
It's crazy. It's insane. Bongs are like manual transmission. You know what I'm saying? It's like old school to me.
Really? Yeah. Well, it's not like dabs. Dabs are
no, that's a whole. Now you're getting into a science experience.
The first time I did a dab was also in college.
Yeah.
And we were sitting, like, somebody's like, "You want a dab?" I'm like, "Sure." I've never really done one. Sit down in this chair in a dining room with all the lights off.
Dude.
And this guy's just torching this thing. It's raining outside.
Yeah.
Like, the playlist has gone sad, and I'm just like, oh, this is real drug. What are we doing now?
This is where I'm at.
This is bad.
Start looking around like, what
and
the
then,
fuck am I
But then
doing?
you're like, well, it's just weed. My friends it'll be fine. And then you hit it, and you're like, no, that is...
It's too much.
No.
It's too much. It's just, it's a lot. It's like the first time that when I got to Colorado, I went with a friend of mine, and she's never high enough. She's that person, and she smokes like, it's like, are you like competing against somebody? Like, what is happening now? Are we going for a record?
Maybe.
Like, so the first thing we did when we got into Colorado, she's like, we got to go down to this weed store. We know the people working there. So we go in there, and these people give us this fucking joint that's like 3 grams. It's got a gram of wax, a gram of like, dude, we're smoking this thing.
I've seen those
had like
things,
a glass tip, but it's like dripping. like, dude. So we smoke this thing, and then we go immediately to like we smoked it outside of brunch, like put our name in, smoked it, and then we go back in, and we're sitting there, and the waitress walks over, and she's talking to the waitress, and she is completely fine, and I'm like watching, like, how is
like
this
melting down?
possible? Dude, the lady just looked at me. I'm like, oh, honey, I'll bring you a water. And she just walked away. Just like, she didn't even ask what I wanted. She's like, no, this guy needs a minute. Those joints are just too much.
Yeah, it's,
they're like 20 people can get high.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
Some people are trying to do too much, man.
People. I don't want to share a joint with 20 people. That's
some people
want
to do too much.
Yeah, I don't see a time where I need that.
Yeah, I've gotten and. It's kind of the problem with everything. Like that's a lot of why I don't like a lot of the craft beer stuff anymore, because they're doing that shit, but just with beer, it's a different thing. It's like, we're going to make something that tastes like a funnel cake.
Yeah.
You're like, why? You're not making beer anymore.
Yeah, you didn't ask yourself, should I?
No, we stray further from the light of God every day.
Yeah, I didn't like the pickle beer. Once we started getting into like pickles and M&Ms and Skittles, I was like, okay, all right, rein it the fuck in,
here's the thing.
guys.
I think a pickle beer could be done well, but it would have to be very specifically done.
The one time I had it was a seltzer, and it tasted like a cleaning product.
Nope.
It was awful.
I think it needs to be a sour beer.
Yeah, and I was drinking it in front of the guy that had like really sold me on it, and I had to do the Manny Pacquiao. I was just, oh, dude. I was like, God damn, bro. Go back to the drawing board on this one.
Yeah.
This is not it.
See, I think it would work if you did a sour beer with a good like profile that worked with
like
it.
A dill. I want more dill.
Yeah, get a dill beer. Fuck, I want pickles now. I think I have some.
Dude,
do you want a pickle?
Medicated pickles.
Medicated pickles?
Yeah, I want to do that tincture that you can put in there. I just put it in the pickle mix and just every day just put another drop and shake it.
You ever?
Eventually the pickles will get like
too strong. Like that last pickle is going to be a problem. Like it's going to be in your fridge for a long time, and one of your friends is eventually going to be like, I might as well just polish off this last pickle. It's been in here forever.
My friends used to do that with honey. So the people that picked mushrooms, they would just put mushrooms in honey, and the honey will break down the mushrooms to keep the psilocybin. So they just kept throwing mushrooms into this honey mix, and then they would make mushroom tea, and then they'd put the honey in there. Dude.
People are doing too much.
You suddenly be walking around on stilts. Like, you drink a fucking cup of tea, it's like fucking Alice in Wonderland.
Man, chemistry's so fucking ridiculous.
I love it, though.
It's awesome.
I think it's good for you.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, but it can't, like, that Love Is One really was where I start to agree with the straight edge people, where I'm like,
where you're like, what are we doing?
On the psychedelics, dude.
Maybe we should all just go homestead somewhere.
This is what I thought about. I didn't want to
stop doing all this shit.
So this is what I thought about when I was watching it, is like, when you're doing psychedelics like that, and you're doing heavy amounts, like these people are eating like 7, 8 grams, 10 grams of mushrooms at a time, right?
That's too much.
If you don't have a leader in that situation, like whether it be a shaman, whether it be a doctor, a licensed therapist, somebody is going to
somebody
assume
who's not
that
calling
role.
themselves God.
Yeah, somebody's going to assume that role, and when you're under that sort of like, it's like a spell, dude. I could totally see where you could get into that, where you're so open.
Well, that was the whole thing. Manson was taught by the CIA how to brainwash people with acid,
dude. And I don't know if you ever heard of the 12 tribes?
No.
They have a bus that they would take to Grateful Dead shows and to like Fish shows, and they just get spun out wooks that come out of the show that are all fucking tripped out, and then get them in their bus, and then bam, now you're part of the cult.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude. Called the 12 tribes.
That's wild.
Yeah, bro. That's like a whole thing at Fish.
Dude,
they're like, don't get on the
guy.
bus. Because it's this, typing in 12 tribes bus. It's this very specific bus. And that's what everybody says. Like, if you're spun out outside of a show, they're like, don't get on the bus. Yeah.
Oh,
dude.
this thing.
Yeah.
And that's a bus you want to get on.
That's the bus you want to get on. That's the bus you don't want to get on.
That bus
dude.
looks fun.
That's the further bus. That is the good bus. That is the 12 tribe bus. You will disappear.
Don't do that.
Got to be careful when you're just getting on a bus.
Buddy.
Yeah, that's fucked up, though, that they're getting people on LSD because it's
Yeah.
like, bro, you could definitely get talked into some shit.
Have you ever heard of Shinrikyo?
No.
It was
What is
It was
that?
a Japanese acid cult.
What?
Yeah, did you ever hear about the Tokyo subway sarin gas attacks that happened, like, I think 90s?
No. That's like some Batman shit.
Yeah.
Like
No,
the Joker, dude.
Bro, this guy
So what happened?
using LSD created a cult in Japan, like a sci-fi cult in Japan that like grew to the point that they were like trying to do Batman villain shit. And the thing that they ended up going with was basically stabbing bags of sarin gas on the Tokyo subway system.
Why?
In like multiple locations.
That is some definite Joker
So
shit.
he
dude.
wanted to blame it
He went
on
full
America.
Heath Ledger. He went full Heath Ledger.
Bro, they also had like hats that had electrodes in it that would shock you so you couldn't like keep a train of thought. Like they were doing weird shit.
Whoa.
Like
Imagine being on LSD and just getting your brain
killing
shot.
a lot of people because that's what this guy would do. He would just
Holy shit.
when he would initiate people in, he would just load them up with acid and be like, "This is our one-on-one session," and that's where he'd be like,
"Oh my,
fucking
God.
welcome to the group, buddy."
Oh my God.
And then you're just a slave to like a fat guy.
Yeah, I could totally see. I could totally see where you could get just completely manipulated on LSD. You're too open. You know what I'm saying? Like you're so open. That's why you have to be very careful who you do psychedelics with, guys. If we learn anything, I have never heard of this. How have I never heard of this?
Wow, 2018, he exhausted all his appeals.
Whoa.
But yeah, attacks in 95.
Damn. So he was just doing an LSD cult and then went full fucking Heath Ledger.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. See, that's the other end of psychedelics.
Yeah, is I don't know.
Because at Love Is One, it looked fun at the very beginning. At the very beginning,
Well, they
were
all
just
are.
at a house, tripping, laying on beanbags. I was like, that looks fun. Like, that looks like a good time. They're like at a ranch.
So this was also fun in the beginning. This
That's what I'm
was
saying.
This was their original name. The Immortal Mountain Wizard Association.
Okay,
that
dude.
was the
See,
original name.
You could get me on that. Like, I would be all in. Like,
I would get, yeah.
Wizard Association? Dude.
And then 5 years in, because here's the thing, he also targeted like the scientists and like the nerd. So that's how they ended up with
They've never
like
been cool.
They were making all their own LSD.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're cool.
They're
You're an alchemist. You're making magic.
Yeah. Basically, he took the nerds and he's like, "Welcome to the program."
Epstein did the same thing.
Start figuring out how to make poison gases for me.
Epstein did the same thing. He's like, dude, y'all are so cool.
They also, I mean, obviously killed a bunch of people internally because that's what you do as a cult.
Somebody's going to figure it out and you're like, that guy's dead.
Oh, yeah. They tried anthrax. Bro, so this guy, here it is. What he was originally trying to do was he was trying to basically give everybody botulism by making it into a mist form and flying over Tokyo in a helicopter.
This guy is a fucking James Bond villain, bro.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Yeah.
He's the Scarecrow for sure. Like,
no, he's the man.
That's
I mean, he's
great.
not the man.
I was about to say, hold on, dude.
Several people
let's not
died.
praise him.
Yeah. How many?
This man is
So here's the thing.
unhinged.
13 died. 54. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So here's the thing. The mix of gas wasn't good. So
Well, yeah, they're on LSD.
here's the thing. If they had like taken their time and done like real gas, like it would have killed thousands and thousands for sure.
They were just, thank God they were just so fucked up.
But it was, yeah. That's a crazy story. That's a fun story to.
Let me see a picture of this guy. Let's show a picture of him on the pod. Does he have a funny hat on? Nope.
Yeah. So imagine this guy gets you into a call.
Yeah, he looks like he's up to no good, bro. That's crazy.
That guy. And like, by the way, his like followers can't eat.
Now check this
can't
out.
like eat food, but he's
He
making
was-
them get him
He
takeout.
was enrolled in the school for the blind when he was 6 years old. So this dude's blind.
Yes.
He's eating LSD.
Yeah.
Oh boy, he's in contact with some diamonds.
But here's the thing. I saw somewhere he was blind, but not the most blind. Like he could see a little bit.
Okay. Like,
And apparently he would take advantage of other more blind kids at the school.
dude, this guy was a villain from day one, bro.
Yeah, no.
He was a problem.
Always a real piece of shit.
Yeah, just a real dirtbag, bro.
Oh,
That's
man.
crazy. Yeah, I had a neighbor that was blind.
You never even heard of that though.
No, I can't believe it. I had a neighbor that was completely blind. Shout out Angie in Savannah. She lived by herself, dude.
Wow, he got executed in 2018. They hung him.
Damn, in 2018, yeah, they're like, you're diabolical, bro. You gotta go.
I mean, if
But we're pulling it off the shelves.
look, man, if sarin gassing the subway system is your backup plan,
Yeah,
we don't want to see you try any more of your ideas.
yeah.
'Cause-
We're good on your ideas.
Yeah, he was.
They're like reading his rap sheet. They have a scroll. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Known as a bully at school, taking advantage of other students.
He was extorting him at like 6 years old.
Yeah.
Bro, this guy, he's a villain. I can't believe he's not been on a movie. This is like a literal real life Joker villain. They could make a sick anime Batman with this. Did you
Yeah.
ever see the anime Batman?
So here, check this out. This is where it's like sci-fi cult. He cited Isaac Asimov's Foundation series. Like he was like using sci-fi to get to nerds, which is pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that, though. If you
You
started
just
taking
can't-
LSD and started fucking just reading and hanging out with somebody who was way smarter than you.
Yeah. Well, and obviously weaponizing nerds is like historically the most dangerous thing. Like anybody who's trying to get nerds together to do a thing is doing bad stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't a bunch of fucking idiots that made the atom bomb, you know? It was a bunch of fucking nerds. Give them a secret project, and they're like, ooh.
Bro, it's all nerds just making shit and being like, we can take over the world with this stuff we made.
That is pretty impressive, though. He did all that blind. Like, he was just swindling people blind. That's pretty crazy.
I mean,
That's insane.
he pulled it off.
My neighbor who was blind, I was like, the one question I had to ask her when we went to her place, I was like, Angie, can I ask you something? She goes, yeah, anything. And I was like, who the fuck decorated your house? Like, that just bothered me. All I did is blow in my mind.
You have paintings?
Because there was shit on the walls. I'm like, who is this for? Like,
And none of them are crooked.
none of them. Everything was well done. It was very tastefully done.
That's funny. Who's
Her mom.
Her mom.
Yeah,
Her mom
yeah.
came in.
Dude, she was the funniest. She did jujitsu. You would see her out at a bar, and you're like, dude, you're across town. Like, what the fuck?
I'll walk.
She would watch. She was the person. She worked at an institute, and she would teach people that were newly blind how to use the stick.
Whoa.
And then you'd watch her, like, dude, she knew how far to the next walking, like, crosswalk, and she would just. She
Wow.
did jujitsu. She ran marathons. And I remember we were smoking weed one time.
Well, that's what they told her she was doing anyway.
yeah, right. She's on a treadmill.
How rude is that? You could do that probably if you really.
She ran with a dude in front of her, and she held on to like a flag on his waist.
Keegan, I think that it would be a great prank.
To prank blind people, dude, like a fucking.
No, just
We
convince
just
one.
have a new show that's called Punching Down.
Bro,
We're tricking blind people. You thought drones and homeless people were bad. But man up, pussy. We're coming for your blind uncle.
Just 6 hours of a blind guy on a giant treadmill.
Just you on all fours and we're just I'm pushing him over you.
No, I don't want to. I just want to convince a blind person that they have run a full marathon when they in fact have not. Dude, we're just in a warehouse running around with like there's like a fan in his face.
Oh, fuck that. Dude.
I think that would be, and then to reveal at the end, be like, you have not moved.
No. But she did, and
that would be funny.
She would smoke weed with us, and then she. One time,
Chat, come in and defend how funny that would be.
I don't think so. Bunked. It's punk for blind people. You just scare him. He's just walking around an empty warehouse, and you're just scaring the shit out of him with an air horn.
I just yell a lot near blind people.
Yeah, you just have an air horn at a blind institute. Just
It would.
We just start a new YouTube show where we're just the worst people ever.
It would. Let's be real, Keegan. You said we're an idiocracy. There was a show in that universe about people getting hit in the balls. So I think that's in line.
Dude, let me tell you.
I think we would be huge.
We were talking about eating mushrooms. One time I was on mushrooms and we are at this dude's house and the TV was just on and we walked in from being outside and Ridiculousness was on MTV.
No.
And it was a segment of hitting your balls. And all I could think was, it's happened. We are literally in the movie. Like, it's a documentary. I was tripping like I'm watching Out My Balls. And it was hilarious. Everybody who slammed their balls, I was like, oh. You're like, God damn it. That's funny every time. Every time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, and it's either that or it's like the Instagram death reels.
Oh, thank God I don't have that in my algorithm.
I got it.
I got a lot of fat asses. I'm a weak man. Give me 6 beers and I'm clicking, dude.
Yeah. I don't know. It's because there's something in me where when a reel comes up and it says click here to view reel, I have to know what it is.
Yeah.
And it's usually a person's head exploding.
Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst. That sticks with you. Every time I watch
tell you
something,
about,
I go, why? Why did I do that?
Did I tell you about the one where a motorcyclist's head literally exploded?
No, I don't want
against
to see
the wall. It was crazy.
I don't want to see that.
Through a helmet.
No. See, I'm good on seeing that.
Dude, painted a wall.
No. See.
Or there's a lot of
you start focusing on that shit. You start bringing that shit in from the universe, bro.
Like in India, I think I'm not sure what, but like in a lot of countries, truck drivers don't look a lot when they back up. So there's been a few people getting rolled over.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude. That's a nightmare situation.
Or bad skateboard injuries are also in there. And those get rough.
Dude, the ones where people aren't wearing helmets, you're like, oh, you're going to Chris Benoit your family in like 10 years. Like that fucking, your head just bounced off the concrete.
There's one where this guy doesn't look like that. He's like doing like a little jump over a gap. And on the other side of the gap, there's like, a pipe coming down that's missing the cover.
Oh, of course.
And he jumps over, messes it up, steps directly in the pipe, and you just watch his shin just snap in half.
Dude, one night where I lived at those other apartments on Atlanta Street, there was this little like sewer pipe thing that was always coming up, and like every night I'd walk home drunk and I would just trip over it. Like, God damn it. So I look up and there's these drunk dudes and they're like walking back to their car. And
you watch them trip?
Dude, the guy's like, we're going to race. And so they're racing and I'm standing there and I go, guys, there's a pipe right there. And there's a pipe and the dude just full sprint just eats it. Just fucking slides home on asphalt.
Oh, man, that hurts.
I mean, I did my part. I literally stood there and was
tried.
A pipe. They were just having a boy moment, He's like, I gotta beat this fucker. Yeah, I gotta beat this fucker, and then just slid into home on asphalt. I saw, and he got up. He's like, I'm good. I was like, No, you're not.
No, you're not. No, yeah, you're trying to play it.
You got them Jesus Christ palms, dude, with the blood coming down. You're like, you're in trouble, brother. That hurts.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have trouble getting that shirt off, and you better get home before the blood starts getting through it.
Yeah. When you wake up and your sheets are stuck to you, you're like, I had a bad night. I had a bad night.
I haven't had that, fortunately.
Anytime that two adults are racing, you can expect an ACL.
Somebody's getting hurt. Yeah.
Achilles.
Because these are not people who have exerted themselves like that.
Nobody stretches before a drunk race. Nobody stretches. No. You don't see one stretch. No.
I wonder if a lot of people get hurt at those like punching machines, just
Dude,
like trying to throw your whole shoulder into it.
Absolutely. I saw one the other day. A guy did it at Bolero, and he had it on his Instagram story. And as soon as he got done punching, I saw him do the. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Bro, the last few times I've gone to play disc golf.
If you're over 26 and
tough.
off your parents' fucking insurance, you cannot be doing shit like that.
No.
You can't. It's like
Dude.
people are like, you want to go ice skating? Like, dude, I don't have health insurance. Like,
Yeah.
like, do you know how big of a dumbass I would feel?
I haven't even been playing disc golf like I used to, and when I will play every like few months, I will by hole 5, I'm like, okay, so I'm just playing short every throw. Like I can't put much into this. And then for the next 3 days, I cannot lift my left arm. I'm just like, oh my God. Dude, 18 because I'm doing the 18 holes. I'm doing the whole thing.
Yeah, see, I learned quick when I would go with these older dudes. I learned quick. Like they play the I'll throw it a couple more
Pace,
times.
yeah.
Nobody's keeping score out
And here's
here.
the thing. I had a pretty good round. I think I only shot 5 or 6 over on the whole round. But like playing it safe is the thing to do.
Well, it's like I'm not
It's
going
just
to
so
disc golf.
fun
I'm not
to
playing
rip
a
it.
tournament. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
so
I'm not
fun to
going out
just
there to
rip
like
it,
keep
though.
score. I just want to rip it a couple times, get high, walk around.
Yup.
That's the best part about disc golf. It's just hiking with like a purpose.
Yep,
That's it.
pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
you walk
hiking with a little
like
hobby.
2 miles.
Yeah, you always got hole 4s, like usually where you smoke.
Always tucked back in the woods a little bit.
A good rule here: if you disc golf and you're gonna smoke weed on the course, take a little trash bag with you. Take like a garbage bag and just pick up garbage. And that way, if anybody's like ask you what you're doing, you're like, dude, we're just walking around picking up trash. And then people leave you alone.
Just bring your disc golf bag.
No,
Everybody
I
knows
know,
what you're
but I'm
doing.
saying like if somebody walks up like a police officer or something, you're off the little beaten path.
Oh.
You just that's what I just.
Oh,
carry a
I
little
don't get
thing.
off the beaten path.
Well, there's some courses where you have to. There's a couple like where you're like,
I don't play those courses.
I do, because they're nicer. They're always well kept. They're always manicured. You're like,
We've had
"Oh."
different experiences with nice courses.
Yeah. You know, anytime you pay to go on a course, they're usually pretty awesome.
When I lived in Minnesota, there's this course called Blue Ribbon Pines, private course. Basically, some people own a bunch of property, and they turned it into a 27-hole disc golf course. They charge
What?
you $5 for a day out there. And
That's dope.
throughout your 27 holes, you end up going through by the same place, I think, 3 or 4 times, which is this little shack out in the
fuck
middle
yes.
where they're selling beers.
Oh,
and
that's the
their
best.
little airplane
Yeah.
bottles. They've got a guy grilling up dogs and
Oh,
burgers in the
fuck
back.
yes, that's what I was
So
about
you
to
just keep
ask.
circling, and it's like because most disc golf courses you have to hide your beer because you're not supposed to have it, but this place is selling you beer, and if you bring your own, they're not going to be mad at that either.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I usually bring my own.
So
I got
that-
a nice backpack bag. 'Cause I
Those
bring
are the
beers.
kinds of courses that I've always paid for. Like whenever I've paid for a course, it's been that kind of a situation.
That's the kind of disc golfer I am. I show up with a backpack disc bag, and I got like 7 disc, just a 6-pack. Just
Yeah, I'll do yeah. It depends on who I've been playing with historically. Like way back, I would just carry a backpack and then I have like a shoulder bag for my discs. And that backpack would just have a 12-pack in
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's just a beer bag. Dude, we went one time. Me and Steve went. His friend was a professional disc golfer, and he had land up in North Georgia. And on his land, he had a 28-hole disc golf course.
Whoa.
And it all like crisscrossed over
And I
this
bet it's
lake.
nice.
Dude, he had 6 holes going to his mailbox, so that when he went to go get the mail, he could play a little 6-hole run.
That's how you're a pro.
I know. I was like, this guy's thought
Dude,
of everything.
you're playing 12 holes just to get the mail every day. That's practice, dude.
He would he could roll a disc so far, like literally 150 yards. He would tomahawk it onto the ground and just roll it.
Did you ever hear about the guy a few years ago who scored negative 18 on an 18-hole pro game?
That's fucking insane.
What
That's where
the
you're like,
fuck?
all right, we're getting too good.
Yeah,
y'all are kind of
you're
ruining
like,
it.
Can you beat? I don't think you can beat that. Like,
No, dude, that's
because
playing
here's
perfect.
the thing,
What is that? Like, how many birdies is that?
that's birdieing every hole.
Jesus.
If you want to
Christ.
do it the easy way,
Jesus.
he did it the hard way.
He eagled some.
He parred a hole, so which means he had to eagle one.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah, disc golf rules. I love disc. So when we did, when I was in
It's
that
cheap
band,
golf.
when I was in
It's
that band-
affordable golf.
Have you ever heard of the Goat Farm in Atlanta?
No.
So it's like this little art collective where there's like these old buildings and they've like taken it over and they just let people come in there and do art, and it's like a collective space. So we threw a festival there. And we had a bunch of bands that they booked. It was called Gwinnett Green through the festival. It's like a normal for like weed legalization. And they had it like set up like a little shakedown street where there was all these vendors. And then in one of these old like cotton gin buildings is where they had the music. So they had a stage set up so all the bands played. But beforehand, they set up a mobile disc golf course all through the land.
Fun.
So like if you bought a ticket to the festival, you also could go play in the tournament.
Oh, that's fun.
It was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the best. Like,
Man, we got to play one of these days.
that's what I'm saying. We need to set up something that we'll set up like a comedy festival and do disc golf.
Yeah, if we're going out of town, we should do that.
Yeah, that's definitely what we need to start doing is hitting different courses. Because disc golf that's what we did when we go to shows. Like when we go to the Black Crows, that was like, what city are we going to see them in? You're like, who's got the best courses? 20 minutes from the venue.
There you go. Yeah.
Where are we at?
We're at an hour 15.
Nice. All right, guys. We're going to put this episode out early, so tomorrow is going to be the live show. So you could still get tickets. It's on the alleystage.com. We're right on there, so just go get tickets. We got some pre-sales selling. We're going to have the tie-dye T-shirts are going to be on hand at the show. We got Craig
For
Burns,
sale. Shanika Kindi.
Mellow Black. Yeah, I'm excited, man. We're going to actually, so just so everybody knows, we're going to have Max Yoder is going to be there. He's going to be filming the whole thing. We're going to have multi-camera shoot, so that'll be up on Patreon. So hopefully within a week, we'll have the Patreon and we'll have everything going. So stay tuned. We got the live intro coming. The cartoon intro should be here by the end of the week. So we got big things going.
We're doing it.
Finish the Story 2.0. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Check it out, sluts.